I was 20 years addicted to drugs. So from the age of 7, I started smoking cigarettes just through out of, curiosity, seeing older children smoke. But of course, I at the time I didn't know about addiction. So, I was putting an addictive drug, nicotine, into my system. And so that really, just roller coasted over to, drinking, smoking, going to school, smoking marijuana, leaving school, doing ecstasy, acid, speed. And of course, once you get into that club scene, there's cocaine and stuff. So, I was 20 years involved with all of those different substances, but I always knew that there was something wrong. So I started to study, I started to learn about addiction. I went to addiction groups. I done all of these things to get myself out, and all of the time I was learning about the mind. I didn't realize that, this is where my problems resided. I always thought it was the drugs and the people that I was around. But the more I understood it, the more I understood about the mind. And that's where I got the solutions. And we can talk about this as we go into the interview. But of course, I got myself out of all of these different addictions, for a selfish reason, to improve my life. So I could get on and start a business and, get married, buy a house. But I couldn't do any of those things when I was addicted. So I freed myself over 10 years ago. But then, unfortunately, some tragic accident, not an accident, I have a twin brother that, I've shared all that life with. But unfortunately, he had terrible problems with alcohol, and he spent time in hospital and in a rehab. But when he came out, he was a lot better, but he was never right. And we went to a reunion. It was like a club reunion, something like 25 years after we'd been going out clubbing and stuff. And he made a decision to take some ecstasy tablets, and it wasn't anything new to him. But the problem is, after abusing your body for 25 years or whatever, his body said no, and it poisoned his blood, and yeah, it killed him. And I was there, and it was just the most traumatic. It's the most horriblest thing that can ever happen to you. I never wish it on anybody, but I knew, then what I needed to do, because I'd found a solution so long ago. I just needed to share it. So I wrote a book, I wrote a program, I put everything down, how I'd done it, and then I started to teach it. But of course, I never really expected how fast it would grow and how many people it would help. I just wanted to share the story in the hope it would save somebody. But, all of a sudden it is just exploded. I mean, I started to do Facebook Lives. I had hundreds of people just contacting me saying, I've got this problem, that problem. So I started the help and support groups up. And, it's only been going for about a year and a half now. But literally, I've been invited over to America, to present the program to the NIH, which is the National Institute for Health. I spoke in front of Dr. Nora Volkow, who you might know. She's the head of NIDA, which is the National Institute for Drug Abuse in the US. I literally spoke in front of like the top scientists in the world that are dealing with addiction. And do you know what? They just do not understand about the mind. I'm teaching them a very simple model. I mean, they were really, really impressed. And, I've even been, invited to apply for funding to do research into my program. And so it was an incredible experience. But since I've been back, I've been invited over to Brussels. I just recently got back from there, and I gave a talk to the European Union. And then just last week, I was in our Parliament in Westminster doing another talk about the addictive side of food. So it's really incredible what's been happening.